The summer heat hung heavy in the air in Santa Clarita, California, making the pavement shimmer as neighbors sought refuge in the shade. On this quiet suburban street, 7-year-old Emma sat perched on a small wooden stool, her feet barely touching the ground as she meticulously arranged her lemonade stand. The setup was simple but thoughtful, a folding table draped with a faded checkered cloth, a sweating pitcher of fresh lemonade, and neatly stacked plastic cups. Her handmade sign, bursting with color and written in bold uneven letters, proclaimed lemonade for hope. Unlike other children selling lemonade for toys or trips, Emma had a more urgent purpose. She was raising money for her chemotherapy treatments. Diagnosed with leukemia nearly a year ago, she had endured countless hospital visits, painful procedures, and treatments that left her exhausted. Yet her spirit remained unbroken. Claire, Emma's mother, watched from the porch with mixed emotions of pride and sadness. Her daughter's once flowing golden hair was now cropped short from the treatments, but her big brown eyes still sparkled with determination as she waved at passing cars. The diagnosis had come suddenly, turning their world upside down. Emma had always been an energetic child, filling their home with laughter and creativity. She loved painting whimsical scenes and riding her pink bicycle with tassels fluttering from the handlebars. But then the symptoms began: unexplained bruises, constant fatigue, and fevers that wouldn't break. The day they received the diagnosis, Claire and her husband Brian felt their world crumble. The mounting medical bills had forced Brian to take extra shifts at work, while Claire balanced her time between caring for Emma and maintaining some semblance of normalcy for their family. The stress showed in the worry lines etched on their faces and the quiet conversations late at night about how to manage the growing expenses. The morning started slowly at the lemonade stand. A jogger passed by with a friendly wave but didn't stop. A few cars slowed down but continued on their way. Emma remained undaunted, carefully arranging and rearranging her cups while humming softly to herself. Mrs. Henderson was the first to stop, shuffling over with her cane and asking for a cup. When Emma quoted the dollar price, the elderly neighbor handed over a $10 bill with a gentle pat on the girl's hand. The local mailman, Mr. Alvarez, followed soon after, declaring it the best lemonade he'd ever tasted and leaving a $20 tip. As the day progressed, more neighbors gathered, drawn by both the lemonade and Emma's infectious smile. Each visitor seemed touched by the young girl's determination and the simple honesty with which she explained her cause. A group of children from her school arrived, dragging their parents along and filling the air with chatter and laughter. It was late afternoon when something extraordinary happened. A distinctive black limousine slowed to a stop near the stand, catching everyone's attention. The door opened, and out stepped Donald Trump, his signature suit and red tie unmistakable even in the casual suburban setting. A small crowd began to gather as he approached Emma's stand, his presence commanding yet somehow gentle as he focused on the small girl behind the table. He laughed warmly, the sound carrying across the hushed crowd. "A little bit, but today, you're the star, Emma. You're doing something really special here." The impact of Trump's gesture rippled through the crowd immediately. Inspired by his generosity, others stepped forward with their own contributions. Mr. Alvarez pulled out another $50, declaring that the president had the right idea. Neighbors began emptying their wallets and writing checks, each wanting to be part of this remarkable moment. As the afternoon wore on, the energy around Emma's stand only grew. People who had heard about Trump's visit began arriving from nearby neighborhoods, each bringing what they could to contribute. Children emptied their piggy banks, and parents wrote checks, all inspired by the little girl who had touched the heart of a billionaire. Before leaving, Trump spoke quietly to Claire, his voice carrying the weight of promise. "I've got some friends who would love to help out. Expect some calls in the next few days. And Emma," he added, turning back to the young girl, "keep fighting. You're going to do amazing things. We're going to make sure of that." The story spread rapidly across social media and news outlets. The image of Emma and Trump at her humble lemonade stand touched hearts nationwide. Videos of their interaction went viral, and soon donations were pouring in from across the country. Local businesses stepped forward to help, and a nearby hospital offered to cover remaining medical costs. A major lemonade brand sent a year's supply of products, along with a heartfelt letter praising Emma's entrepreneurial spirit. The outpouring of support transformed the family's situation. The crushing weight of medical bills began to lift, allowing Brian to reduce his extra shifts and spend more time with his daughter. Claire found herself able to breathe easier, the constant worry about finances finally easing. Inspired by the overwhelming response, Emma and her parents established the Lemonade for Hope Foundation, dedicated to helping families struggling with medical expenses. The foundation grew beyond their wildest expectations, with schools nationwide organizing fundraisers and businesses offering matching donations. Emma's simple idea had blossomed into a movement. Months later, at a foundation event, Emma stood before a crowd of supporters, her health improving and her spirit stronger than ever. "When I started my lemonade stand," she said, her voice clear and strong, "I just wanted to help my mom and dad. I didn't think so many people would care. But you did, and now we can help other kids like me." At the back of the room stood Trump, who had quietly returned to see the impact of that summer day. He watched with pride as the little girl who had touched his heart continued to change lives, her small act of courage having sparked a wave of generosity that showed no signs of stopping. The foundation continued to grow, helping countless families facing similar struggles. Emma became a symbol of hope for other children battling illness, proving that sometimes the biggest differences start with something as simple as a cup of lemonade and a caring heart. For Emma and her family, that remarkable summer day remained a turning point, when a man in a suit stopped at their lemonade stand and saw not just a child selling drinks, but a warrior worthy of support. The ripples of that moment continued to spread, touching lives far beyond their quiet suburban street and reminding everyone that hope often arrives in unexpected ways, carried by those willing to stop and make a difference. If you and #039V made it this far, thank you for watching. Dawn and #039T forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed.